Ryan K asked us, can you discuss how American firefighters got into using the pipes and drums? And he wants to, he makes a note of, he knows, for instance, that the one of the first organized fire brigades originated in Scotland. I have some backup data on that, by the way, Ryan. But how did fire departments become associated with bagpipes?
Yeah. In early American history, during the Nina kind of period, the no Irish need to fly kind of period, the Irish were looking for work, and they could generally get more dangerous work, because they were expendable, so to speak. And this is something I thought it sounded like it was true, but we actually researched a little bit and found out that we're right. It is true. Was that there was a lot of firemen and policemen who were Irish because it was a more dangerous job.
Yeah.
When we designed our law enforcement tartan and our firefighter memorial tartan, we included a green stripe for the Irish who had such a strong start in that community, in the law enforcement and firefighter community. And it's true. We did a bunch of research on it, or some moderate amount of research.
Yeah.
And it's turns out it's true. That's kind of where it started. It was a dangerous job, so the Irish were the ones who kind of stepped up and filled that gap and said, we're going to do it. So with that, and with being a dangerous job, there were funerals. They kind of brought the bagpipes and all of that to the funeral ceremony, to those processions. And from there, it kind of went into you were a firefighter, but maybe you're Italian, or maybe you're, whatever, insert ethnicity here. And it didn't matter. You were a firefighter. That was your identity. That's how you want to be remembered.
Yeah.
So for your funeral, that was just what you did. So it kind of evolved that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And essentially, funerals are always a big deal for the Irish community, just like weddings, But
wakes.
Wakes and stuff. So they were celebratory. Isn't quite the right word, but the point is you made it a big deal because you wanted to honor the person who had passed away. So they had pipes. They had Irish pipes, which of course are
Ullin pipes. Yeah.
Is Ullin pipes? Yeah. Is it Ullin or Ullin?
Yes.
Send me the pronunciation, guys. But basically,
Lucas would know.
Yeah, they're more of an indoor instrument. They're a little quieter. So highland pipes,
And
great
tough to march
great
with.
pipes. Lucas can do it, but great pipes were adopted probably because a lot of these memorial services and then parades connected to the services were being held out of doors, and you wanted to make a larger noise for the sake of the crowd, and also, frankly, to impress the public because you wanted to call attention to the general public. Our guys are laying down their lives for you guys. You should probably pay attention. I would personally suspect, I didn't find a reference to this, but I suspect that probably the bagpipes became more popular at the same time that Highland pipes were being picked up by like the Gaelic Athletic Association, the Gaelic League, and the nationalists around the turn of the century. And we know that Irish regiments by World War I were using bagpipes, and I suspect it bled over at about the same time into the firefighting tradition. I would guess, but I don't know. They probably were using whatever people had on hand up through most of the 19th century. But that's basically it. The one thing I found out, which I thought was most interesting, is that everybody thinks Amazing Grace is a traditional hymn for funerals. It's become that, but it wasn't really on the scene until the 1970s when a group of Scots Guards touring the U.S. Adopted the song to the bagpipes. So
right, it's only 9 notes.
Yeah,
right.
So it only goes back to the 1970s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But there you go.
And now you know.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's half the battle.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good thing to keep in mind this month with St. Patrick's Day, the firefighters and the police.
No, I love interesting little tidbits like that where we think something is, millions of years old. It's always been done this way, and it's only 40 years old, 50 years old.
Yeah.
Nice.
For that song at least, yeah.